Technology. It's inescapable. It's such a huge part of our daily lives. We often wonder how past generations lived without it. Without realising it, it's taken over our whole lives, and we now live in a world that's entirely reliant on technology. From cutting-edge VR technology to the increasing use of social media, it's begun to affect the way we interact with the world and each other.
How does technology feature in our daily life?
Technology is a massive part of my life.
On a daily basis, I use my phone for alarms. I have quite a few alarms set in the morning.
My alarm in the morning, obviously. Yeah. That is a technological alarm rather than a biological one.
I use my phone right from the word go.
The minute I wake up and straight after school.
I don't think I could live without my phone.
My phone is my lifeline at the moment.
Within the work I do, social skills.
This is Dr. Nigel Newbert, a senior lecturer in the digital education at the University of the West of England.
So I've spent some time working with technology and autistic groups. In previous work, working with younger children and more recently with older populations. But essentially working with virtual worlds, virtual environments, iPads, and most very recently head-mounted displays and virtual reality technologies. So in terms of sort of the broader population, I guess, and looking beyond people with autism, which is where I've been working, I certainly think this has an application beyond that. I can certainly imagine that as technology becomes more and more pervasive, available in schools, I think absolutely there are opportunities to help people develop social skills wherever they come from and whatever their backgrounds are.
In school, I use the computers and laptops for researching and just doing my work on.
Usually, if I'm given an essay to write as homework, I tend to favour doing it on a computer just because it's quicker. But I understand that in the exam I'll have to write it, unless I break my arms.
I think, social communication is something that can in some ways be limited by using technology. I think, if you go into a bar or coffee shop now, you'll often see people on devices and sort of looking through those in some ways. And if you observe people in museums, you'll often see them looking at the artwork through their devices, not necessarily talking with one another. So I think in terms of technology for the sort of broader spectrum or the broader public, I think I'm not too sure, to be honest.
It's got its downfalls, especially with Facebook. Only people put things on there which you shouldn't, and lots of information can be found out from Facebook, so it's used in a derogatory way by a lot of people.
So many arguments are over phones and stuff. Over phones on Instagram, Snapchat, group chats. So if we didn't have phones, then there'd be much less arguments and people would talk in person and not hide behind their phones and say rude stuff.
I do sometimes get annoyed because people do tend to depend upon their phones, and actually sometimes people have forgotten the art of conversation and actually text me when they want something urgently, and I don't know why people still can't actually pick up the phone and speak to you on the phone.
What do you think, dear?
I think you only have to look at these two here at the table to see how the art of conversation has been ruined. You see crowds of kids going to school and they're not talking to each other, they're all just looking at their phones. You see mums pushing pushchairs and they're oblivious to what the little ones are doing because they're all on their phones. So in one way it's quite sad actually.
And they're speaking to the person next to them.
Yeah, on the phone.